A wonderful good morning. The situation in Iran is escalating a bit further. Yesterday, during the live stream, we already took a look at the whole thing and saw that there could very well be another conflict in the coming days. There are also some outflows from the Bitcoin ETF. In particular, BlackRock has been continuously selling its Bitcoin holdings for the past 5 days. Of course, the big question is, do they know something that there might be an attack on Iran, and are they just trying to protect themselves a bit before the attack or secure their capital? Because with Bitcoin as well, as we saw yesterday in the live stream, things are not looking particularly good. Yesterday, we took a nice short position. So once again, congratulations to everyone who was involved. We had a wonderful, what was it here? Yeah, within 20 minutes. No, actually, within just 5 minutes, we suddenly took a really nice position, traded a nice short position in the market. Of course, we'll take a look at that now in the live stream as well. We'll also take a look at where Bitcoin could be heading because my long positions are still waiting here. On the one hand, for spot positions that I want to buy more of, as I already mentioned, between 61 and 50,000 US dollars. Let's see which direction things could go, and of course, what's in store for Bitcoin today. Please go ahead and leave a like at the start of the video so we can definitely hit 80 likes again on this update video. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe as well. Great to have you as part of the community, and with that, I'd suggest we start with a quick trade update from yesterday. So what did we do yesterday? Yesterday, we took a trade during the live stream. That was the Bitcoin short trade, which we executed perfectly. I think it was on the 15-minute chart. Let's take a closer look to recap. What did we do yesterday? And above all, what has happened since then? When was that roughly? It was around 7 p.m. It was just before the FOMC meeting. We entered the short position here at 67,100 US dollars. It hit the take profit instantly. So as you can see, it took less than 5 minutes for the position to go into profit. My position was then closed out completely at 66,700 US dollars. Some of you, I believe, even stayed in the position longer and were able to ride it down to 66,000 US dollars. So congratulations on your profits, by the way. In general, I share all my trade positions with our Discord community. So if you're not on the Discord server yet, definitely feel free to join. There's a section called My Trade Setups where I share all my trade positions, and not just my trade positions, but also my spot rebuys. I even posted in there yesterday, I think, that I entered another trade position. That was yesterday at 7:46 p.m. That was, well, 4:45 p.m. your time when I took a short position on the 4-hour chart. That position also went really well into profit. So in Discord, I definitely share all my trade positions. But now back to the main point. What can we expect from Bitcoin today? To start with, I want to zoom out to the 4-hour chart because we have a really big vector candle there. What I notice is that we've always had a vector candle at a similar time on the 4-hour chart, and that's something we need to watch out for now. Here we can see quite clearly that on the 4-hour chart, we formed a huge symmetrical triangle, which has even broken out to the downside. So we've now received the short confirmation, or rather we could also draw it as a descending triangle or simply as a triangle. Here too, we've broken out to the downside and lost the $47,900 mark. What stands out to me now, or what I especially notice, which speaks against this symmetrical triangle or this descending triangle, is that we constantly have movement with vector candles. You can see it here. We had the first move in February. At the beginning of February, got really strong violet vector candles. Then on February 12th, the same thing. And now yesterday, we saw a similar move again, each time on the 4-hour chart. And since then, we've seen a recovery each time. But what is also very noticeable is that each recovery became lower. That means I also expect here that we won't see a full recovery up to 70 or 71, 72,000 US dollars, but that at most we'll see a recovery maybe up to the imbalance zone just under 70,000 US dollars, or also the 50 moving average 68,500 US dollars, and that will then get another confirmation to the downside. What we are seeing here now, especially if we leave everything else out, especially from the beginning of February, we are forming lower highs. That means our resistance line is definitely getting closer, which is a sign that when we push upwards, we will get rejected there again. But we are also getting higher highs. We are getting highs coming into the market. So it kind of comes down to the fact that we might be forming a triangle here, possibly a symmetrical triangle. It's not a perfect one though, because as I said, we have this massive downward movement from February 5th. But it could very well keep us busy for the next few weeks with this symmetrical triangle continuing to move sideways on the 4-hour chart, possibly until the end of the month before we get a final decision. But I also want to take a look at the 1-hour chart because there is something really, really interesting to see there. So if we take a look at this, we can see that we consistently fail to reclaim the 50 moving average. That will also be the next trade position I will take here. We will be aiming for the 50 moving average. Take a look at it. That would also be exactly where the vector candle gets picked up at $67,100, $67,200, where we can enter a new short position. So as you can see, I am still oriented towards short positions in the market. It's simply because the geopolitical situation is not ideal. Now, also with the situation in Iran escalating again a bit, we also looked at it yesterday in the live stream. The second aircraft carrier is also supposed to arrive there in the next few days. And as I already posted on Twitter, there are definitely several US fighter jets on their way to the Middle East. And usually that's not a sign that they're pulling back, but rather that things are getting a bit more serious. So we'll have to take a closer look towards the weekend at what might actually happen, because the traditional market is closed on the weekend. That means it's quite possible, or I personally assume, that if there is an attack, it will take place over the weekend. Simply so that the traditional market doesn't, I don't want to say, completely sell off, but at least so that the traditional market can't react directly to the scenario. The disadvantage for Bitcoin, of course, is that Bitcoin trades 24/7, so it has the ability to react at any time. And that's also the reason why I'm now looking for more short positions in the market. The next level to definitely take profit would be the $65,000 mark, because if Bitcoin breaks the $66,000 mark here, it will also drop sharply for Bitcoin. We saw that yesterday as well when we entered the position here during the live stream. That actually happened really quickly, dropping within just a few minutes, because if we take a look at the VRVP, you can see it quite clearly here. VRVP, the next volume cluster. Yes, what is holding us up a bit here is the $65,900 level. Even if we zoom out a bit further and include the last movement as well, yes, between 65,000 and $60,000, there is nothing. It's a black hole. At the latest, if we lose our last volume cluster at $62,800, you can strongly assume that Bitcoin will definitely fill this wick here. And that's also the reason why, as I said, I orient myself towards short positions. If today we break through this important level at just under $65,200, meaning this low, then we have to assume that Bitcoin will drop a whole level lower, and we will definitely fall below $62,000. That's a little outlook I see for Bitcoin today as well. That means I'm still absolutely short oriented here and would definitely throw the next short position back into the market. We closed the last 4 trade positions wonderfully in profit, so we achieved really good performance. All 4 were also short positions. The next short position for me would also be here on the hourly chart, the 50 moving average. Definitely here at $67,300. Stop loss above the last high. If necessary, you might have to place the stop loss above the wick, since it's possible that we could revisit that wick again. But in any case, you are now as well prepared as possible to build up the next position here. Also in terms of liquidation. Yes, now there's a bit more coming in below us again. So at $66,000, there's still a bit left. So that area could be revisited. If we also take a look at the short-term time frame, the 12-hour chart, we can see it there as well. There's still some liquidity above us here at $65,700. Yes, $67,200. There's also a small block there, so it's quite possible we'll get a little push upward. That would line up with us hitting the 50 moving average at $67,400 before we might then see a sell-off to the downside. I'm personally preparing for that so I can catch the next short position on Bitcoin as well. Of course, let's also take a quick look at gold, because gold is coming up again in the London session. Right after this update video, once I've enjoyed my coffee, I'll definitely spend some time scalping gold. If you'd also like to join in on our gold scalping, feel free to join our Discord server. There you'll find a dedicated gold chat. There you'll find everything about gold scalping. And we also have a gold signal group where you can follow my trades when I'm scalping gold. I'm happy to show you that here on Telegram as well. So step number 1, join the Discord server. You just need to go through the step-by-step guide here. That means you also need to unlock the area, and then you'll get, as you can see here, I actually wanted to turn the camera around during the live stream yesterday, but I honestly forgot to do it. I'll definitely do it in a moment, and then you'll receive our trade signals here. You'll find the link in the video description. You can join the Discord server directly. Feel free to check out the trading bootcamp as well, where trading is explained to you completely and understandably from A to Z. Otherwise, that's basically it for today's short update video. You're as well prepared as possible. I'm going to enjoy my last sip of coffee here, get started with gold scalping, and I'll definitely share my entries with everyone on our Discord. You can also pick up the indicator in Discord, so definitely check that out. Right now, it definitely looks like with gold, we might be able to take a few buy positions over the next few hours. I wish you a very relaxed start to Thursday, a super successful trading day, and I'll see you later at 6 o'clock in the live stream.